Welcome to our podcast on expanding your English vocabulary together.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in as we explore 5 powerful words in depth.
Today we'll cover the words ashamed, disgusted, bottle something up, handle, and intense to help you master their usage.
Ashamed is an adjective.
She felt ashamed when she arrived late to the meeting. Her colleagues had been waiting for over an hour.
He looked down, ashamed of spilling coffee on his boss's report. The stain ruined the neatly printed summary.
The student was ashamed after cheating on the exam. Guilt overshadowed the passing grade he received.
Parents can feel ashamed if they ignore their child's needs. Regret often follows in quiet moments at home.
She sounded ashamed as she confessed to accidentally breaking the heirloom vase. Tears welled in her eyes during the apology.
He felt ashamed for forgetting his wedding anniversary. Flowers and chocolates seemed inadequate to mend his mistake.
Athletes may feel ashamed after missing a crucial penalty kick. They replay the moment long after the final whistle.
A politician can become ashamed if caught in a scandal. Public trust evaporates under the glare of headlines.
Children sometimes feel ashamed when their artwork is laughed at. Confidence builds when kindness replaces mockery.
She felt ashamed of her reaction during the argument. Reflection helped her understand why she snapped.
He grew ashamed of his selfish choices when he saw their impact on others. Empathy guided him toward making amends.
Many people feel ashamed discussing mental health openly. Normalizing those conversations reduces stigma.
She felt ashamed at the thought of failing her driving test again. Practice and preparation became her next steps.
He was ashamed to admit he didn't understand the complicated instructions. Asking for clarification cleared up his confusion.
She sounded ashamed when recalling her rude comment to a stranger. Empathy drove her to apologize later.
He felt ashamed after lying about his qualifications on the job application. Honesty regained can lead to second chances.
A writer can feel ashamed when discovering plagiarism in a published article. Fierce integrity demands immediate correction.
She grew ashamed of her hoarding tendencies when she helped at a shelter. Donating in used items brought her relief.
He seemed ashamed after losing control in the heat of the moment. Apology and self-reflection marked his path to redemption.
She admitted she was ashamed of ignoring her friend's calls during a crisis. Comforting her friend became her priority.
He was ashamed of his inability to keep up with the conversation in English. He enrolled in classes to improve his skills.
Many feel ashamed when their bank account balance drops unexpectedly. Budgeting tools can help restore control.
She sounded ashamed while explaining the late fee on her rent. Negotiating with the landlord eased her worry.
He became ashamed of spreading gossip at work. He apologized and resolved to speak only truth going forward.
She felt ashamed when her cooking experiment turned into smoke and sirens. Ordering takeout saved the evening from disaster.
He was ashamed when his child witnessed the shouting. He vowed to control his temper from that day forward.
She was ashamed to find her phone missing after a night out. Reluctantly retracing her steps, she recovered it under a bench.
He felt ashamed, admitting he forgot his own password again. Setting up a secure manager became his immediate priority.
Parents felt ashamed when they realized they had exposed their children to harmful content. They installed filters and monitors.
He admitted he was ashamed of judging others too quickly. Awareness helped him practice compassion every day. Disgusted is an adjective.
She felt disgusted by the mold growing on the bathroom ceiling. She scrubbed every tile until it sparkled.
He was disgusted when he saw plastic waste tangled in seaweed. That image inspired him to join a cleanup effort.
The audience looked disgusted at the graphic scene in the movie. Several viewers covered their eyes.
She sounded disgusted tasting the burnt soup. She swore off microwave experiments for good.
He was disgusted by the corruption exposed in the report. His vow to support reform began that day.
Many people feel disgusted by animal cruelty in factory farms. Documentaries can spark social change.
She felt disgusted, discovering a roach in her drink. She refused to return to that cafe afterward.
He was disgusted by the betrayal of trust among colleagues. Transparency and ethics became his next focus.
Parents can be disgusted at the thought of their children watching violent content. They set strict viewing guidelines.
She felt disgusted by the stale odor in the abandoned house. She never explored the attic again.
He looked disgusted by the taste of raw onions. Since then, he always checks ingredients before cooking.
Tourists were disgusted by the lack of hygiene in the markets. Hand sanitizer became their constant companion.
She was disgusted at her own mistake when she misquoted an important source. She issued a public correction immediately.
He sounded disgusted at the oppressive heat and humidity. Air-conditioned rooms became his only refuge.
She felt disgusted reading the comments under the viral post. Civil discourse seemed a distant memory.
He was disgusted by the overcrowded train during rush hour. He began cycling to work to avoid the chaos.
She grew disgusted with cheap fast fashion after learning about its environmental impact. She switched to sustainable brands.
He was disgusted at discovering hidden fees on his bill. He demanded a full refund and an explanation.
She felt disgusted after stepping on gum stuck to her shoe. Cleaning and reflection made her share proper disposal reminders.
He sounded disgusted by the idea of lying for personal gain. Integrity became his non-negotiable principle.
Volunteers were disgusted by the conditions in the neglected animal shelter. They organized donations and care drives.
She felt disgusted at herself for losing control in the argument. Apologizing helped restore goodwill.
He was disgusted to find a leaky pipe flooding the basement. Immediate repairs and waterproofing followed.
Tourists grew disgusted with the aggressive street vendors. They learned polite refusals to avoid harassment.
She felt disgusted scrolling past insensitive posts on social media. She curated her feed to promote kindness.
He looked disgusted by the tangled headphones in his pocket. He invested in wireless earbuds instead.
She grew disgusted by the constant noise from neighbors. She installed soundproofing materials in her apartment.
He was disgusted by the unrealistic beauty standards in the magazine. He learned to promote body positivity.
She felt disgusted when someone stole her parking spot. She reported the incident and found a new parking app. Bottle something up is a phrasal verb.
He tends to bottle something up when stressed at work. Those emotions eventually overflowed in an outburst.
She suffered in silence, choosing to bottle something up after the breakup. Weeks later, her friends noticed her withdrawal.
Managers should encourage staff not to bottle something up to prevent burnout. Regular check-ins foster open communication.
Students often bottle something up instead of asking for help. Counseling services can provide much-needed support.
Parents sometimes bottle something up to shield their children from worry. But sharing age-appropriate truths builds trust.
He regretted bottle something up during the crisis. Expressing his needs earlier might have prevented the collapse.
Friends notice when we bottle something up through distant behavior. A simple call can help release that tension.
She used journaling to avoid bottle something up. Writing down feelings provided clarity and relief.
Therapists teach techniques to prevent bottle something up. Breathing exercises often help patients open up.
He tried to bottle something up, only to have it manifest as headaches. Stress management helped ease those pains.
Boxers learn not to bottle something up because physical training releases tension. Movement becomes a healthy outlet.
Employees sometimes bottle something up, fearing repercussions. Anonymous surveys can reveal hidden concerns.
In teams, leaders who encourage feedback prevent members from bottle something up. A safe environment promotes honesty.
She warned him not to bottle something up about the harassment. Reporting early can stop further harm.
Writers often bottle something up until creativity bursts in a writing marathon. That sudden flow can be cathartic.
Actors risk bottle something up if they ignore character emotions. Regular debriefs can support mental health.
Veterans sometimes bottle something up about their experiences. Support groups encourage sharing memories.
He noticed he would bottle something up before presentations. Preparing bullet points helped him voice concerns.
She felt lighter after deciding not to bottle something up anymore. Honest talks renewed several relationships.
Students bottle something up, sometimes due to peer pressure. Safe spaces in schools help them express themselves.
Parents bottle something up to avoid spoiling family vacations with worries. A quick vent session before departure can help.
He regretted bottle something up about his doubts. Consulting a mentor clarified his career path.
She used art to avoid bottle something up. Painting scenes allowed her to channel suppressed feelings.
Team members often bottle something up, fearing to appear weak. Leadership training emphasizes vulnerability as strength.
University students frequently bottle something up during finals. Peer study groups can share academic anxieties.
He instructed his team not to bottle something up about deadlines. Transparent timelines boosted collective performance.
She learned to bottle something up less by starting peer-led support circles. Open discussion became a weekly fixture.
Athletes can bottle something up after tough losses. Reframing debrief sessions into growth talks helps.
He realized he had bottled something up too long when stress affected his sleep. Meditation restored his peace.
Handle is a verb.
She knew how to handle difficult customers with calm empathy. Her reputation soared in customer service.
He needed to handle the last-minute changes to the project plan. Efficient coordination kept the deadline intact.
Leaders must handle conflicts swiftly before they escalate. Mediation skills often resolve issues amicably.
The athlete learned to handle pressure during championships. Mental toughness gave her a competitive edge.
Programmers handle errors gracefully with try-catch blocks. Robust code prevents application crashes.
Parents must handle tantrums with patience and consistency. Gentle guidance teaches emotional regulation.
Chefs handle sharp knives carefully to avoid accidents. Proper technique reduces kitchen mishaps.
She had to handle the unexpected rainstorm by relocating the outdoor event. Quick planning saved the celebration.
Managers handle budgets to ensure financial stability. Forecasting and tracking expenses prevents shortfalls.
He learned to handle constructive criticism by focusing on improvement instead of taking offense. Feedback became a growth tool.
Teachers handle diverse learning styles by varying their methods. Interactive activities engage more students.
She had to handle post-surgery recovery with careful rest and physical therapy. Patience sped up her healing.
Drivers must handle icy roads with gentle braking and steering. Caution averts dangerous skids.
He chose to handle his stress through daily exercise. Endorphins boosted his mood significantly.
Counselors handle sensitive topics with confidentiality and care. Trust builds through safe communication.
She learned to handle multiple tasks by prioritizing and delegating. Time management boosted her productivity.
Pilots handle emergencies through rigorous training and calm decision-making. Practice saves lives in the cockpit.
He struggled to handle his workload until he implemented a digital to-do list. Visual reminders kept him on track.
Artists handle critiques by distinguishing subjective tastes from actionable suggestions. Creativity thrives with clear feedback.
She needed to handle her anger before it affected her relationships. Mindful breathing exercises helped.
He could handle the complex negotiation because of his years of practice. Confidence grew with each successful deal.
Volunteers handle emergency shelters by coordinating donations and logistics. Organization ensures everyone's needs are met.
She learned to handle criticism on social media by setting filters and engaging only with constructive feedback. Boundaries protected her well-being.
He had to handle the technical glitch during the live broadcast. Quick thinking saved the show on air.
Teachers handle classroom behavior by setting clear expectations and consequences. Consistency earns respect.
Managers handle performance reviews by balancing praise with areas for improvement. Transparent dialogue fosters growth.
Intense is an adjective.
The workout was so intense that my muscles trembled afterward. Recovery and hydration became my top priorities.
He experienced intense heat during the desert crossing. Sunblock and shade saved him from severe burns.
She felt intense joy when she first held her newborn. The moment changed her life forever.
The debate grew intense as both sides presented compelling evidence. Chairs creaked as audience members leaned forward.
He enjoyed intense concentration while painting intricate details. Hours passed without him noticing the time.
The storm unleashed intense winds that toppled trees across the city. Cleanup crews worked through the night.
Her study session was intense, covering 3 chapters in one sitting. Concepts finally clicked under focus.
The movie's action scenes were intense, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. Heart rates soared with each explosion.
He felt intense pressure to finish the report on time. Coffee and determination fueled his late-night push.
The fragrance of the roses was intense in the spring garden. Bees buzzed contentedly among the petals.
She experienced intense pain after the surgery. Pain management and rest were crucial in the early days.
The spotlight created intense glare on stage, but the performer remained composed. Sunglasses backstage helped protect her eyes.
He had intense focus during the chess match, blocking out all distractions. His opponent's missed moves led to victory.
The training program provided intense cardio workouts for peak fitness. Participants reported improved endurance within weeks.
She felt an intense sense of urgency when the deadline approached. Every minute became precious in her workflow.
The concert's encore generated an intense roar from the crowd. The energy pulsed through every speaker.
He had an intense craving for chocolate after the long exam. A small bar satisfied his sweet tooth completely.
The competition was intense, with athletes breaking records at every turn. Medals were snatched up in record time.
The documentary delivered an intense portrayal of war's impact on families. Interviews echoed with raw emotion.
She felt intense relief when the storm finally passed. Sunshine peeked through gray clouds afterward.
The fragrance of fresh coffee in the morning is intense. It jolts the senses awake with aromatic richness.
The final exam questions were intense, requiring problem-solving under pressure. Few students felt completely prepared.
He spoke with intense conviction about climate change. His passion ignited activism among listeners.
The paint color was so intense that it brightened the entire room. Decor enthusiasts praised its vibrancy.
She felt intense gratitude for the rescue team's quick action. Her life was spared thanks to their dedication.
He had intense loyalty to his team, cheering them on through every defeat and triumph. True fandom runs deep.
The lecture was intense, packed with advanced theories in a short span. Students left feeling intellectually challenged.
She felt intense satisfaction completing the marathon. Crossing the finish line proved her perseverance.
That concludes our detailed exploration of these 5 essential English words.
We hope you feel confident using ashamed, disgusted, bottle something up, handle, and intense in your conversations.
Thank you for listening, and we look forward to sharing more vocabulary insights next time.
Goodbye and keep practicing every day.